Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about the Book of Clarence. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons, so let's get to it. Pros. This movie has a pretty stacked cast, a lot of notable names in here that I'm trying to go to. There we go. I mean, you got Lakeith Lee Stanfield. He's been in some movies. There's, let's see, Get Out, where he was like a main. Well, he had a minor role in that, but technically an important role because it helped our main character, realize that he's in a bad situation. So there's that. There's Knives Out. There's Uncut Gems. So he's become like a recognizable face. But I wouldn't call him like a draw or anything, but he's definitely a recognizable face. So yeah, Lakeith Lee Stanfield, like who else? Let's see, David Oyelowo. He's been in quite a bit of stuff. I don't know why there's two dates here. Maybe it's like two different people. I don't get it. But it's been a lot of stuff too. He was in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I did not know that. um let's see. I know him from Selma, where he was Martin Luther King Jr. and he did a damn good job doing that. And it's real. I find it kind of funny that I'm talking about Selma when it's literally Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. So that's kind of a funny coincidence. Um, see, there's The Butler, Interst. Yeah, I don't think he really was in Interstellar. I don't remember him in that. And not much else after that, but I'd say he's still relatively recognizable. Uh, who else we got? Anyone else I'd know? Omar Sy, I get maybe. Trying to, if it would let me. Okay. God, look at that number. It's only in 8 movies. I know he was in a French movie, Les Intouchables, which was like stupidly successful overseas. I think it was the biggest movie ever in France. I think it still is. But I'm not sure. I haven't checked in a long time. And like that movie would end up being remade as The Upside with Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart. Fun fact. Um, let's see what else has he been in. Apparently he was in Jurassic World, Days of Future Past, and Jurassic World Dominion. Ugh. Well, that movie is. I still believe Dominion is better than Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom sucks ass. I hate that movie. Dominion isn't good, really good, but I'd rather watch that than Fallen Kingdom. But yeah, it's not really much for Omar Sy, but James McAvoy, one of my faves. He's been some notable stuff. I know that. The Chronicles of Narnia movie, well, the first one, where it's Mr. Tumnus. There's that. I guess there was Atonement on a smaller scale. Wanted, you know, that was a big hit back in '08. And he was young Professor X in the X-Men movies and First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. Uh, Wait, he was in Muppets Most Wanted? I did not know that at all. Although I've never seen Muppets Most Wanted. I've seen 2011 Muppets, okay? I saw that, but I didn't see Muppets Most Wanted. Maybe I should one of these days. Oh, Split. That was a big hit back in 2017. That was a nice vehicle for James McAvoy to show off his acting range. There's Atomic Blonde. Deadpool 2, that was a cameo. A really funny cameo. There was It Chapter 2, where he was, basically the grown up version of like Bill from the first movie. And yeah, really nothing else after that. But he's a very recognizable face thanks to his work in the X-Men movies. Then apparently Benedict Cumberbatch is in. Is he in this? Yes, he is in this movie. So I might as well talk about him too. This is Doctor Strange right here. And Sherlock, might as well mention that, even though it's not a movie, but it's a big show that I've never seen. But yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, he's been in a lot of stuff too. Um, let's see. Oh, Atonement, that's also with James McAvoy. Funny enough. Warhorse, I guess. Star Trek in the Darkness, where he was Khan. Not a lot of people like that movie too much, but still a big hit back in 2013. Let's see. Well, 12 Years a Slave, he was like a side. He had a side role in that, so that doesn't really count. A lot of these are side roles. It's Imitation Game, like that was a main role, and that movie did quite well for itself. Oh, Zoolander 2. Oh no. Oh, his character in that's it aged like milk immediately. I don't, I've never seen Zoolander 2, but I know about his character all, and it's a bit of a yikes type of character. But then after that, it was Marvel movie time, being Doctor Strange, and the first Doctor Strange, and Thor Ragnarok, and then Infinity War, then Endgame, then in No Way Home, and then Multiverse of Madness. And then there's 1917, where he played like, I don't think he played like a huge role in that, but he also voiced the Grinch in the 2018 movie, but that's a voiceover role. And yeah, so everyone knows who Benedict Cumberbatch is at this point. But yeah, the cast is filled with some recognizable names, so I'd say that's a positive, even though they're not like draws really. I'd label that as a pro, so that's pro number one, I guess. Another pro is that reviews for this movie are quite all right, especially for January standards, as a 69% on critic score. Yes, I know it has the funny number. Proceed to laugh. There's no audience score listed, but there is a cinema score. It's a B. That's not good. That's not a good sign. But its critic score is still solid, so I'm gonna label that as a pro. But that cinema score, that's not solid. That's worrying. That shows that word of mouth is mid. So that's actually a con, but I might as well label that as a con now. So the cinema score is a con. And I guess when it comes to competition, there's nothing too serious. I mean, most of the movies out right now are just old or just died immediately or not they're not of like the same genre. And besides, like, the target audience for this is, obviously this is aimed more towards, African American audiences, black audiences. And we haven't had too many movies that have been geared towards that group, that demographic. I mean, there was Color Purple a few weeks ago, but that movie, it started out strong and then it just fell off the face of the earth. Well, I maybe not, that's not the right way to say it. That movie, it started out so well, then it crashed and burned real fast. So that won't be an issue anymore. But yeah, competition. Actually, competition is a little rougher for this when compared to Beekeeper, because this movie is very small scale, and there's quite a few movies that are definitely going to do better than it. But yeah, when it comes to direct competition, there's really nothing out there. So I'm gonna label that as a minor pro. And I think that's it with pros. Okay, cons. Yeah, that B cinema score, that's not good. So that's all. I already mentioned that as a con. Another con is like, might as well go over competition, like general competition. Like Mean Girls and Beekeeper have way more attention and hype than Book of Clarence ever got. Like, it's not even remotely close. And there's also the fact that, a lot of these older movies, like, they still have audiences. Like, they're still going. Like, Wonka's still going. Anyone But You is still going. That movie's all a damn anomaly, if you ask me. So you have like those two movies still that still have a heartbeat. Um, what else? I guess Migration too, to an extent. I guess Aquaman 2, kinda, although its heartbeat is hella faint. um, but yeah, there's a lot of movies out right now. There's a lot of options, and I don't think this is going to be anyone's first option. It may not be anyone's like fourth option. So, yeah, just general competition. I'm gonna label that as a con. Another con is the marketing has been like more or less non-existent. So that's obviously not good. So that's a con. And its Thursday previews are pretty pathetic. 285K. That is like way lower than you'd want for like a wide release like this. It's not like opening super wide. I think it's, let me check how many theaters specifically. A little over 2,000. So it's not a whole lot of theaters, but still, these preview numbers are hella weak. So I'm gonna label that as a con. And I guess another con with a movie like this, like obviously it's based off, a biblical story. Like that's like the backdrop for the movie. But I feel like I don't know if it's I don't think it's gonna draw a whole lot of that faith-based crowd. Particularly, I guess I don't want to say this to be like controversial, but I'm gonna say this just to be real. Obviously, the more there's no real good way to say this. The more conservative Christians out there might see this movie as being blasphemous. Like they just see it as sacrilege or something. Like it's not their Bible story, so this movie might turn them off. And so that's a good, like a decent amount of that faith-based crowd aren't going to want to go near this. Kind of like what happened, well, not really what happened with Noah. Noah was weird. Like that took some liberties with its source material, but that movie, it's still, it drew in like general audiences, mainly because it kind of marketed itself as a disaster movie. This doesn't have that. Like it doesn't have like that edge. Like it just, so yeah, I feel like the faith-based crowd might be turned off by this. So I'm gonna label that as a con. Definitely. And I think that might just do this movie in. And I think that's it. So opening weekend, gotta do 3 day and 4 day. I could mention the holiday helping this movie, but it won't. This movie's pretty much doomed. So 3 day, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 million, and 4 day 3 to 4 million, and then its final total. I don't know about its legs. I feel like it's gonna die pretty fast, judging by its audience reactions. Um, Less than 10 million, maybe 10 million or less. I'm gonna just say that, and that's it for Book of Clarence. Two more movies to talk about: Mean Girls and Soul. So stay tuned for those. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage. All previous prediction videos I made this year, all two of them as I'm recording this. But if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I made the past few years, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I covered like Book of Clarence like twice, I think. I'm not confident in that. The first time that I mentioned it, at least in a title of the video, was episode 181. I talked about it alongside Wicked Part 1, Dumb Money, Theater Camp, and a bunch of others like You Hurt My Feelings, Past Lives, and Talk to Me. So that was the first time. And the second time, I'm trying to find uh Book of Clarence. Second time was apparently episode 196. I talked about it alongside El Morito, a movie that now ceased to exist, um, and Dumb Money again. So Uh, yeah, so those are the 2 times I mentioned it, at least in the title of the video. I've now made 227 episodes. I literally made my 227th episode, like, yesterday. And I will be making the 228th video after I'm done with these prediction videos. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past cancel episodes I made on the channel, including the ones I just mentioned where I talked about Book of Clarence, you want to binge them all from beginning to now, I highly encourage you to do that, so go do it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. I just did my December 2023 recap video. Next week, I'll do my 2-part 2023 recaps, winners and losers. And my January recap will be the first week of February. So stay tuned for those videos. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos of me on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.